Ladies and gentlemen, this is Ballet Rain. Welcome back to another ballet appreciation video with your two very favorite classical ballet nerds on the internet, where we watch excerpts of different ballets and we get to share our thoughts on it and fangirl with y'all.
As you probably already know by the title, today we're going to be taking you through the Black Swan pas de deux, which is one of our favorite pas de deux that comes from our very favorite ballet, Swan Lake.
Swan Lake, I think, is one of the most famous and well-known and well-loved ballets out there.
Definitely.
It was written by great composer Peter Ilyich Tchaikovsky, one of our favorite composers. And I think Black Swan, namely, is one of the most iconic parts of the whole ballet. And the Black Swan in general, that whole concept, has really inspired a lot of pop culture, from music to movies and etc.
The role of Odile, or the Black Swan, is generally danced by the same ballerina who danced the White Swan within the same ballet. This dual role is very coveted amongst ballerinas, and it is very technically challenging because the same ballerina appears in all three acts of this very challenging, tiring ballet. And it is also artistically demanding because the same ballerina has to play two very starkly contrasting roles, both good and evil, and then light versus the darkness.
We actually share a lot more about Odette, the White Swan, and also we explain the story and the plot of Swan Lake in the Swan Lake analysis video, linked above and below, if you would like to watch that first so you get a bit of a handle on how the Black Swan pas de deux fits into the scene of the whole ballet. But the Black Swan pas de deux, which we're focusing on today, occurs within Act 2 of Swan Lake, so the ballroom scene. And this is generally Odile's first, last, and only appearance in the ballet. Her father, the Baron Von Rothbart, has cast a spell on Odile to make her appear as the White Swan. And this pas de deux is both Odile and Rothbart working together to deceive Siegfried, which you'll see a lot in the acting and the way the choreography plays out. And why don't we get into it?
Yeah.
You'll see.
Before we go, tap the like button and let's get into it.
Earpiece is in. Ka-doom. What note is it?
It's like a G.
So here we go.
This is
Zenaida?
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 Or Zenaida? I don't know.
This is the Royal Ballet version of the ballet with Zenaida Yanowski as Odile and Nehemiah Kish as Prince Siegfried. And of course, Gary Avis as Von Rothbart. He does a really, really good job here. Fantastic, fantastic actor.
You guys always use the Royal Ballet. Shh. They're good, okay? And the video quality is good. We want you guys to have a good experience. Just don't come for us, okay?
Tone already sets the sort of mood or the presence that they already know they've won. I mean, talking about Odile and her father.
Yeah.
I think that's what's really powerful about this pas de deux, and I think the whole thing is the confidence, which is so captivating in this entrance.
I think what's wonderful about Zenaida is that she really had a beautiful, nuanced portrayal of Odile.
Mm-hmm.
Like, when she smiles, you can see the confidence that she knows that this is gonna be so easy.
Yeah.
Every time she looks at him, she, smiles like, this is gonna be a cinch.
Yeah.
This is so easy.
There's so much in her expression, even though this is the dancing part of the pas de deux, not so much an acting section of the pas de deux, but even in the technical parts, there's so much that she adds, which keeps it in character throughout the whole piece. Here she's calling him and luring him into her trap, essentially. And Siegfried is still very much naive, I guess. He wholeheartedly believes that she is Odette, the White Swan, who's come to his birthday ball. And he's just thrilled. He's over the moon that she has finally summoned some courage to make a first move, you know?
Yeah.
Like, the whole White Swan pas de deux, he was the one initiating everything. Odette is always shying away from him, always escaping his grasp, always trying to push herself away from him. And then when Odette comes to the ball, he's just so thrilled. Seeing her actively engage with him in that way, that's exciting to him in itself. There are some versions where he very clearly thinks that there's something off about Odette, and then some versions, like Nehemiah does here, he's completely fooled. Odile takes such huge advantage of him in this pas de deux. She really, really manipulates him and really runs him down, but he doesn't really notice until it's too late.
Yeah, Nehemiah does a really good job. He plays a very wholesome and very, like, it's very easy to empathize with him in his portrayal of Siegfried. That lift is so cool.
I know, I love that lift.
And I love the way she uses eye contact.
Oh, it's so magical.
Love it. Both with Siegfried and with Rothbart. The way she interacts with both of them using her eyes and her focus, it's really, really direct. Yeah.
She already knows what kind of a person Siegfried is, and she's like, oh, he's so innocent. I'll just get him like that.
She has, how much time? Like 10 minutes?
Yeah.
10 minutes to get this mission done. So when she has that eye contact with Rothbart, it's like, oh, this is going to be so fast.
We might even run ahead of schedule today.
Yeah, exactly. She has that sort of experience. She knows the type.
She's like, oh yeah, this one, 5 minutes, I've got him. Rothbart is the one completely orchestrating this thing. Although Odile knows enough to know how to handle it, she still always comes back to her father for further instruction.
Very, very clean closing to fifth there. If you just watch, she does that arabesque. Bam.
That's it.
That's amazing.
Just one position. No extra steps, no extra fumbling. So clean. Especially coming from arabesque too, because the leg is out one way, the body's out one way, and she just has the ability to go perfectly.
You can really see the mimicry that she does of Odette. There's those swan steps that Odette does in the White Act that Odile will mirror in the
Black Swan pas de deux. Here she is exercising her power. She turns around and she expects him to offer his hand to her.
Yeah. What's different and very nuanced about her interpretation is that it plainly shows that she does not care a cent about Siegfried at all. But she'll put on the face like she's enjoying herself. But then when you see when she pushes him away, it's like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job.
No, she doesn't cherish him at all whatsoever, the end.
What I love about Zenaida dancing is she has so much resistance in her dance. It's so luxurious.
And here Siegfried doesn't really doubt, because in the whole White Swan pas de deux, Odette was always escaping him, always pushing him away because she was so timid and so shy and didn't want to enter into any covenant because she was afraid that he would break it.
Right.
So this is not uncommon for Siegfried. So right now he's like, oh yeah, this is normal.
Yeah,
it's okay. We're good. If you watch him carefully, Rothbart's like, hey, come here, what's going on? And she goes, yeah, it's gonna be fine. He goes, okay, now do this. And she goes, yeah, okay. I do like her quality of movement in this pas de deux because there's some people, and it's all a matter of interpretation, and that there's not really a right or a wrong way to do this pas de deux. But I really like the way she does it because it really does have that same smooth quality of a swan. It still has that very sort of calm and stillness in the movement.
Absolutely.
It's not too flashy. The quality is still very much smooth, very much even, and quiet, I guess you could say. It's very, very quiet.
That is really hard.
That is-
One-handed into that.
Wait, go back.
One-handed into that.
One-handed ande d'un fouette. Oh my goodness.
Wonderful. It's one thing to get up onto the piqué arabesque on balance with just one hand, and then it's one thing to go from that into an ande d'un fouette.
Very challenging.
And she was
Very
right up on her axis. Very good.
She's laughing. If you can just see her face. She just looks at the onion and goes, he really doesn't know. The dip at the end of that phrase is also from the White Swan pas de deux.
Yeah.
She's mocking Odette. And here is a very interesting moment, which I love when they include it. Some productions neglect this little detail, but it's when Odette appears in the window of the castle and she is sobbing because Siegfried is clearly being deceived and she has no way to stop it.
This is actually the only part of the Black Swan pas de deux where she and Rothbart are sort of taken by surprise.
And they're like, hopefully nobody noticed. They don't know who saw or who heard Odette crying from the window. And they're praying with all their heart that Siegfried didn't see or suspect anything at all. Odile is still kind of nervous, but she sees the look in Siegfried's eyes here and she goes, oh, yeah, you know what, we're good. Crisis averted, we're okay. They didn't even notice, so she's very happy. She looks at her dad like, yeah, we're fine. We're okay. Resume as planned. Good save.
Nicely done.
And she'll take her final instructions to finish off. She knows she's already won.
You can see that confidence. Yep. She's exulting in her victory already. Beautiful.
Beautifully done.
Wow. And this end pose, it is the alternate version of the end pose.
But I think it's less common.
Yeah, definitely less common. Usually they're kind of in this
this attitude together.
But this one, it really, really well portrays, especially her interpretation. Because it shows she's over him. You know,
she won.
She got him. And he's very much backwards. Like, he kind of just surrenders to her. That was a beautiful, beautiful job by both dancers.
And Rothbart.
And Rothbart.
Rothbart too.
Yes. The Black Swan pas de deux, it's this beautiful mix of the technicality, but almost more so the portrayal of the characters. There's such an intricate thought process going on because for the ballerina is a regular person, wonderful regular person, and they have to put on the character of an evil enchantress who's putting on the character of a white swan. So there's two layers of artistry.
It's very complicated.
To have so much internal dialogue that's portrayed just from her expression, just from the way that she looks or the way that she makes eye contact with him. If you watched our Rosadage commentary, linked above and below, you'll know that to pull off that amount of artistry and that amount of character portrayal and storytelling, you need to be so solid in your technique.
Yeah, because it's so hard to focus on your technique and also your artistry at the same time. Usually one gets compromised a little bit unless your technique is so strong that it kind of just stands by itself, and then you can really boost this one up. She obviously has it.
She has it.
We hope that you enjoyed hearing our thoughts on the ballet from our perspective, being ballet dancers ourselves and also hardcore ballet nerds that we are. But we'd love to also hear your guys' interpretation of this performance. So if you watched this video and maybe you saw something a little bit different, we'd love to hear what you guys think in the comments. So make sure you go down there and let us know and we can have a really, really fun ballet nerd to ballet nerd discussion.
Make sure that you hit the like button for the amazing dancers that we got to see today. hit the like button for them.
And share the video as well with all of your ballet nerd friends.
Alright, I think that's all from us for now.
Yep.
This is Ballet Rain signing off. Until the next video.
Bye!